Once upon a soft, golden morning, when the forest was waking up with sleepy yawns and birds were tuning their songs, Masha skipped through the clearing with her usual bundle of excitement. The sunlight danced on her pink dress, and her laughter echoed like a bell. She ran straight toward Bear's cozy wooden house. "Bear, wake up! It's sunshine time!" she called, pushing open the door with a happy bounce. But something was different. The house was quiet. No humming, no tea kettle whistling, no cheerful growl of, "Good morning, Masha." Bear sat by the window, looking out at the forest. His shoulders slumped, his fur looked droopy, and his eyes seemed tired. Masha tilted her head. "Bear, what's wrong? Did you eat all your honey again?" she teased softly. Bear sighed, his voice low and rumbly. I think I lost my roar." Masha blinked. "Lost your roar? How can a bear lose his roar? It's stuck to you." Bear shook his head. "Not anymore. I tried this morning. Nothing came out. Just air. I feel quiet." Masha hopped closer, hands on her hips. Maybe your roar went on vacation." Bear managed a small smile, but his eyes still looked sad. He loved his roar. It wasn't a scary roar, but a warm one, the kind that made bees buzz and butterflies giggle. It was his way of saying, "I'm here, world." But now, silence sat heavy in the room. Masha frowned thoughtfully. "Don't worry, Bear. We'll find your roar together." So they set off through the forest, Masha leading the way with her bright curiosity, Bear following behind like a big, silent shadow. The forest was full of sound, birds chirping, wind rustling, woodpeckers drumming. "See, Bear?" said Masha, spreading her arms. "Everyone's roaring in their own way." Bear listened, but his heart still felt heavy. "I used to make the forest echo. Now even the frogs sound louder than me." Masha stopped and looked up at him. "Maybe your roar is hiding. We just have to remind it why it loves you." Their first stop was the Echo Rock by the river. Masha climbed on top and cupped her hands around her mouth. "Hello!" she shouted. The echo bounced back. "Hello! Hello!" She giggled. "See, Bear? You try." Bear took a deep breath and opened his mouth, but only a soft puff came out. The Echo Rock stayed silent. Masha frowned. Maybe it needs a snack first. Roars get hungry too." She offered him a jar of honey. Bear chuckled. "You think honey feeds roars?" "Of course! Honey fixes everything," she said. Bear took a small sip, but even sweet honey didn't bring his roar back. Next, they visited the singing birds in the tall oak. "Maybe music will help," she said. The birds chirped in perfect harmony, and Masha tried to whistle along, off-key but happy. Bear tapped his foot gently, then tried to hum. The sound came out deep and soft, almost like a whisper. Masha smiled. "That's it, Bear. Your roar is shy today. It needs courage to come out." Bear's eyes softened. "Courage? He thought about it as they walked deeper into the forest. They reached the lake where the water shimmered like glass. Masha knelt beside it. "Look, Bear, you can see your reflection. Maybe your roar is hiding inside you." Bear peered into the water and saw his big brown face staring back, but somehow it looked smaller. "I don't feel like me," he murmured. Masha touched his paw gently. "Sometimes, when we forget who we are, we just need someone to remind us." Bear looked at her, the tiny girl with big ideas and a heart even bigger than his own. "And you'll remind me?" he asked softly. Masha grinned. "Always!" They sat together by the lake, watching ripples spread across the surface. A dragonfly landed on Masha's knee. She whispered, "Even tiny wings make a sound when they move. Maybe your roar doesn't have to be loud right now. Maybe it just needs to rest." Bear thought about that. For the first time that day, he took a deep breath and didn't feel so heavy. The wind brushed through the trees, and it almost sounded like the forest was humming for him. As the sun began to dip, they walked back toward the meadow. The forest glowed an orange light. Suddenly, they heard a faint cry, a little fox cub stuck in a patch of thorny bushes. "Oh no!" Masha gasped. The cub whimpered softly. Masha tried to reach in, but the thorns were sharp. "Bear, we need your help," she said. Bear hesitated. "I don't have my roar." "You don't need your roar," she said quickly. "You just need your heart." Something inside Bear stirred. He moved closer, his big paws careful. "Hold on, little one," he said gently. He pushed the branches apart, ignoring the pricks and scratches. The cub wiggled free and scampered off, turning to yip a soft thank you. Masha clapped. "You did it, Bear," she said. "See? Your roar isn't gone. It just changed." Bear blinked. "Changed?" "Yes," she said with a smile. "It's not just in your voice. It's in what you do, how you help, and how you care." Bear felt something warm rise in his chest. He took a deep breath, and this time, a sound rumbled out. Not loud or fierce, but deep and full of joy. Roar! It rolled through the trees, soft and strong, like thunder wrapped in sunshine. Masha's eyes sparkled. "There it is, Bear," she cheered, spinning in circles. "Bear found his roar." The forest seemed to echo it. Birds lifted off, leaves rustled, and even the river shimmered brighter. Bear laughed, a booming, happy sound. "You were right, Masha. I didn't lose my roar. I just forgot where it lived." Masha jumped onto his arm. "It lives right here," she said, patting his chest. "In your heart." Bear nodded, eyes shining. "And maybe a little in my honey belly, too." They both laughed until the forest joined in. As night wrapped around the trees, they sat outside Bear's house under the stars. Masha leaned against his furry arm, watching fireflies blink like tiny lanterns. Masha said, softly, "You know, Bear, your roar sounded different this time." Bear smiled. "How so?" "It didn't just shake the forest, it made it smile." Bear looked up at the moon. "Maybe that's what roars are for, not just to be heard, but to make the world feel something." Masha yawned and nodded sleepily. "You're the smartest bear I know." Bear tucked her in gently as she drifted to sleep under the stars. The forest was quiet again, but this time the silence felt peaceful, filled with the soft hum of life and love. Bear looked out at the trees and whispered one last rumble. Not too loud, not too soft, just right. The kind of roar that said, "I'm here, I care, and I'm happy again." And from that night on, whenever the forest went silent, the animals would smile, knowing Bear's roar hadn't been lost, it had simply found its new home in kindness.